Al-Etejah News Channel. The truth fears no questions.
Hello and welcome to Underground, our weekly spotlight on social media leads from around the globe. I'm Muntaha Mu'adhin. In today's show, protest masks banned in Bahrain, mounting social media campaigns to free Palestinian hunger strikers, Iraq's WMDs found in the American public's imagination, and finally, online reactions to President Hugo Chavez's death. We're starting our leads in today's show out of Bahrain, where the kingdom's Ministry of Industry and Commerce banned the import of protest masks. The masks have become a global symbol of protest and have been widely used in the 2 years demonstration across the country. Social media users protested the ban their way. One YouTube video suggests alternatives. Take a listen.
Well, this headline that's in front of you should start making you think, even though this is all the way over in Bahrain. And I touched base on this a while ago because they're cracking down on anybody that stands up for freedom and justice and doesn't want to show their identity. I mean, which is, you know, we should be able to do. But the masks are now made illegal in Bahrain. It'll send you to prison if you're caught importing it. Going to be kind of hard to impose, though, this law, I guess, like the Post says, because you can paint them on. Look at this. Sadly, though, it's just a mask. And the thing about the mask is you can print them, paint them, draw them yourself.
Twitter users also shared their thoughts about what is behind the ban of masks in Bahrain. One Twitter user posted this cartoon, which speaks for itself. Another questioned, because it's the mask that makes the difference? The third Twitter user wrote, you can ban the mask, but you cannot ban the idea. Moving to our next lead for today, out of Palestine. The Facebook page titled Activists Around the World for Palestine posted this graffiti piece by Fallah Jalad. I'm quoting her own words, referring to the Palestinian hunger striker Samer Isawi, who has been on a hunger strike since August 1st. She wrote, doing this painting was more like a race with time. I was at a constant fear that we may lose Samer any minute, and maybe before this painting even dries. However, I knew that even if he was gone, what he stands and struggles for shall forever live inside every free spirit. We are also sharing this YouTube video titled Spoken Words for Palestine. Let's take a look.
They calling me a terrorist. Do they know who the terror is when they enter our homes, rape our wives, and kill the kids? I don't know how the world is letting them continue this injustice. Because, you know, I want to see a Palestine with peace and bliss, but we're blinded by these material needs, blinded by our personal creed. We choose to stay ignorant and plant these dark seeds into the next generation. I'm proud to see here today the amount of people that have showed up to support Palestine, the people that have showed up to end these crimes, the people who wish to end this oppression. And viewers' discretion is strongly advised. The horrors and the pains of this revolution has not been televised. And in order to convey to you the truth, I will tell you a story of a young boy named Farouk. They say, lose yourself in the moment, you own it, you'll never get it back. But they hide from you that every moment in peace, they're getting attacked. You see, life isn't that black and white. They make you believe that what they're doing is right, when all I think about is that young boy filled with fright, hiding under the table, crying, saying, why? Did my mother have to die? Tell me this is all a lie. That after last night when I got tucked in, soldiers didn't come and barge in my home, kill my father and my 2 brothers, and then they did dirty things to my mother. I closed my eyes, but I could hear the screams that I hear every night before I sleep, wondering why? What had we done wrong? Is our existence a mistake? Because we're Palestinian and not part of the majority race? You took our land and gave us a piece. Now you're taking over our pieces and our peace. When we wish for peace, you kill. When we stand up for our rights, you kill. When the world sends us aid, you deny. How have you let society to believe your lies? And slowly, as the dying continues, the light of hope gets dimmer. And our border lines are getting thinner. Like Martin Luther King, I too have a dream. I wish to see one day a Palestine of beauty, not broken pieces and smithereens. A place of love, not hate. A place where familial bonds do not break by the gunshots and artillery. A country of peace and stability.
This YouTube video about Iraq, where activist Mark Dice talks with California beachgoers under the assumption that President Obama found weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Do people correct him? Do they disagree? You should see this.
What do you think about the WMDs that were found in Iraq?
I don't know much about it. Sorry.
Warheads that were found in Saddam's palace. What do you think about that? The WMDs that were found over there in Iraq?
I wouldn't be the best person to talk to us about.
What should we do with the WMDs that Obama found in Iraq?
You know, that's really up to Obama, honestly, and I trust his judgment. Right now, like, everything he does so far has been smart for everybody, so whatever he wants to do with them, I agree with it, because...
With the WMDs he found in Iraq?
Yeah.
All right. Is Obama not getting enough credit for finding the WMDs in Iraq? The Republicans not giving him the due credit for discovering the
I can agree with that. For something they said was not findable, and he found, yeah, absolutely.
It's like 6 or 7 warheads or something like that.
Yeah, what do I think about?
Yeah.
Not nice.
But I mean, what do you think we should do with those warheads that Obama found in Iraq? Do you think we should use them ourselves, or do you think we should, like, dismantle them, or what?
Dismantle them.
You don't think we should just add that to our arsenal and then save the money from manufacturing them ourselves?
No, not really.
I don't know. I don't know about that story.
This nuclear warhead that Obama found back in 2009 in Iraq?
Whatever the government decides to do with them.
This video triggered many comments. Some objected, why not ask honestly, were there WMDs found in Iraq? Even this would get you what you want. This as if true statement is misleading. Of course, the people should be critical thinkers, but we know they are not. While another commented, so I guess our country is going uphill then. Once again, the general public is complete morons. Last comment, the concentration of mindless idiots in this country is more terrifying than WMDs. Now you might have had a hard time trying to solve the Rubik's Cube. We introduce Ravi, who solves the Rubik's Cube while juggling. This guy should be knighted Sir Ravi, the juggler. Watch this.
He actually does have a world record for this.
Oh my god.
Slightly unofficial, but he's the only one who can do it, so we think he has a world record.
Can you solve a Rubik's Cube while you juggle, Ravi?
Uh-huh.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh my goodness.
Personally, to me, I always just think he's messing it up, but somehow it always works. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know what you should do? You should start a Rubik's Cube juggling competition, and you'd be the only one in it. So
yep. I think you'd be the only one who can ever qualify for something like that, huh?
Yeah, true. You could have like a qualifying round and everything.
Yep.
You'd be the only one.
He really is on his way.
If you're timing this, it's only been like 2 seconds. I think it's really curious.
But we can fast forward it with video.
Yeah, perfect. Great.
It's like magic.
What's up? You're going. Why?
Oh my.
Dad.
Go, Robbie. Whoa.
I can't tell if one side is solved or if like every single side is like almost solved. Right now it looks like none of the sides are solved. What? There's like a lot of white there. Oh wait, now there's not. Yeah. You get in there. What did you do? Yeah, you have the video of the score, right? Yeah. You do 2 Rubik's Cubes at the same time? Or now? They will be.
Also from the United States, and particularly in Florida, where a massive crash at Daytona International Speedway sent debris into the stands, injuring at least 30 fans. The frightening scene was captured by a fan named Taylor Anderson, who had been recording the final lap of the nationwide race. This recording was posted on YouTube. Take a look.
Stewart 33, and contact! Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. And a terrible crash coming to the finish.
This is a big wreck, isn't it?
Kyle Larson's car with a foul.
Many Twitter users commented on the crash. Taylor Anderson himself tweeted, "All this attention I'm getting is crazy, but this is not about me at all. Please keep all injured in your prayers." Another tweet, "To know the fact that the car debris can actually make it to the stands and possibly injure or kill people really frightens me." While another seemed less concerned and tweeted, "Liberal control freaks have their way. You wouldn't have any sports of a competitive nature. All sports have inherent risks for the participants and sometimes spectators." Join us for more leads on Underground after this short break. Stay tuned.
Wherever those are persecuted, that place we tackle case by case.
Cases, where we believe that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Welcome back. While the people in Venezuela were mourning the loss of their president Hugo Chavez, a backlash of reactions to his death appeared on social media. Some marked Chavez's death with tears, others with cheers, but most commentators agree Chavez was a strong leader and popular across the nation. On Twitter, Jose Serrano, the American member of the Democratic Party, wrote on his official page, "Hugo Chavez was a leader that understood the needs of the poor. He was committed to empowering the powerless. R.I.P. Mr. President." While others wrote, "Hugo Chavez was a man, a person who did not allow the U.S. to interfere in Venezuela's internal issues, but he was the worst with his own people, dictator crazy." Turkish journalists responded, "Yes, he was a real dictator. He forced the rich to share the income with the poor. He forced his poor people living in shacks to move to flats. He forced his people to fight against illiteracy. He forced his medics to treat people without money. And his people elected him twice with free elections. Such a dictator." More online reactions to President Hugo Chavez's death in this world of social media cartoons this time. A heartfelt goodbye to Chavez from Brazilian cartoonist Carlos Latouf. Another cartoon by Steph, a political cartoonist in Bangkok, expressing in his own tribute to President Hugo Chavez. Moving on to talk about the International Women's Day, the day was celebrated all over the world to pay tribute to the achievements of women in different fields. The event is also celebrated online. Using the hashtag International Women's Day, Nelson Mandela tweeted, "The cause of women's emancipation is part of our national struggle against outdated practices and prejudices." Another tweet by the founder of Free the Children movement reads, "Worldwide, women compete 2/3 of the world work and earn only 10% of its income. Raise your voice." And lastly, to all my sisters on this International Women's Day who bear the greatest burden of the world's oppression, I stand in solidarity and respect. Also, Michael tweeted, "Respect to International Women's Day. We're in the world because of you." We also have this video published on the World Bank's webpage emphasizing women's role in the workplace. Let's watch it.
Woman do same thing as a man do. If man do carpenter, woman do it. If man do mason, woman do it.
Está bien pues que le den trabajo a las mujeres aquí principal pues porque necesitamos más.
Now, to talk more about women's activism using social media medium, we are joined via Skype by Nadine Mawad. She's a women's rights activist and a member of Nasawiyya movement. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ms. Nadine, I would like to know, how are women utilizing social media to express their demands all over the world, please?
Well, in a lot of ways, social media opened up more room for women to talk about women's rights, where mainstream media has failed in a lot of places. So you see a lot of Twitter campaigns. There's the famous uprising of Arab women, where people took photos and published their photos in support of Arab women. There's lots of Facebook pages that regularly put up videos that go viral about women's issues. So I think it's a crucial tool now to be used for people who can't get their voice into the mainstream media so much.
Can you please give us a sense about the main issues women are voicing on social media? We know that women have a lot of issues that they like to express, and maybe they found that the social media is a good medium to do so. So what issues, please?
Well, I think a lot of the traditional issues that we're still lagging behind in, so the right to nationality, to protection from violence, to equal pay for equal work, to a lot of the more taboo issues. So you see a lot of more stuff about sexuality and sexual harassment, talking about, sexual violence, expressing things that they weren't able to express so much. So there's a range of issues, all sorts of them.
So how helpful is social media as a medium used by women when it comes to such issues?
Super helpful. I think it's the only medium right now that we can depend on to get the point across. And the benefit is that every day there's hundreds of thousands more users on social media, so it's only going to work to our advantage.
But how can you know that? I mean, what's the feedback? If it is helpful, how is it being helpful?
Well, in a lot of ways. Number one is that women are finding more avenues to express things that you never heard expressed before. So if we didn't have social media, we would never have had the reports from Tahrir Square, for example. We never would have had women talking about violence with the help of some anonymity. We wouldn't have had women connecting to organizations like Nasawiyya, and 80% of the women who join Nasawiyya come from social media. So they've heard of us on Facebook or on Twitter, and they follow our work for a while, and then once they like it, they sort of join. And you can see that shift happen. I'll give you another example. We used to monitor a lot of the sexist ads that used to be on the billboards in Lebanon. So whenever there was something that's sexist or patriarchal or offensive or misogynist. And then after a while, we stopped doing that, and people just started doing it on their own. So they would post things on our Facebook saying, oh, I saw this ad and I think it's sexist, which means that people kind of picked up on what we were doing and started, new blogs and new accounts to monitor the media.
Did social media make women cooperate on the international level? So do you have other people from around the world that you share the same issues or ideas, and social media made it easier for you to do so?
I think, yeah, for sure. Before, we used to depend mostly on conferences to meet each other, but in social media, you can support people's campaigns very easily, share information, keep the knowledge out, that sort of thing.
As a part of Nasawiyya movement, a movement fighting for Arab women's rights in Lebanon, what form or part of participation did you have in International Women's Day?
Well, this International Women's Day is our 5th that we were celebrating. So in the past we had marches, and we had silent marches and angry marches, sit-ins and that sort of thing. And this year what we've done is we've announced an ultimatum to the parliament. So we're waiting for this law to protect women from family violence to pass. And it's been 7 years, it hasn't passed, and they keep delaying it. And every month one woman is killed because of family violence. So this Women's Day, we did a protest, and we gave them an ultimatum. It's either they pass the law or we're going to be hunger striking in front of Parliament at the beginning of their first session.
Ms. Nadine Mawad, finally, I would like to ask you, is this form of activism by women on social media targeted towards a changing mindset versus changing laws?
I think it can definitely contribute to pressuring the MPs for changing laws, especially that a lot of the politicians are now quite active on social media, so they care about their image online. But I would say 80% of it is probably about changing attitudes and getting people to think differently about the way they perceive gender.
Ms. Nadine Mawad, you are a women's rights activist. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now we have an advice given to you by this YouTube maker. Don't argue with idiots. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you. This video is a perfect example. Check it out. Finally, if you think creative, you will reach high. Joseph Herscher will show us a creative way of turning the page of a newspaper while reading it without putting any effort. Take a look. This is all we have on Underground for today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.